Hey guys, in this video lesson, I'd like to go over how we can bring in images into our ship shooter game that we're developing. So far, we've developed our game to be able to move around this little triangle on our screen, on our canvas. This is working pretty good. We have some smooth animations happening with a little bit of physics going on with some vectors, but we're only drawing a triangle. In this video, I want to walk you through how we can bring in images into our environment and use them to render a ship in place of this triangle. So if we go back to our code here, you may recall from earlier in the semester that p5js has this function, this special function called preload. Now preload allows us to load things that may take time to download or have network latency and things like that, but allow our program to wait until all of those pieces of information have been fully loaded. So if we define this preload function, the setup function will actually wait until all of these pieces of information, in our case images, are fully loaded and available to us. So if we go to our code, and right before our setup function, we define that preload function, we now can load images. So here's where we can load images. Now, before we actually load any images, we do need to bring some images into our project. Right now, we only have two images in here. We have the DVD logo from an earlier project that we did, and that's about it. So if we go ahead and we can do a Google search for some images to find ship images, we can use our own images, we can create our own images. I went ahead and I found two images, one basic image and one a little bit more complex. I played around with the sizes a little bit, and this may happen to you. When you bring images into this, the size may be way off. It may be really big. I found that the image size for the size of the sketch that we're working with of around 100 by 100 seems to work good. So if you want to keep your proportions, a height of 100 and whatever width plays out there will work. So we're going to try with both of these. First thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and upload the image. So I'm going to go ahead and right click here and say upload files, and I just got to go ahead and grab my files. And we have our ship 1 and ship 2. Going to go ahead and bring these in here. You can just drag the files right onto here, and now we should see ship 1 and ship 2 right in our images folder here. So if we take a look at the reference here, you'll see this reference is actually really good for what we're trying to do. So we need to set a variable equal to this load image function call, and the parameter that we pass to load image is going to be the path on the file system to the actual image. So we can go ahead and say ship image, I'll call it ship img, equals load image, and this is in images slash, and let's try it with the ship.png first. Now what I just did here is I created a new variable called ship image, but we didn't actually declare it in any type of scope within our program. So we need to go up here right below the actual ship and say var ship image. Now notice how I made ship image instead of ship. We're already using the ship to define the actual ship object that describes everything about our ship, right? How it flies, how it shoots, and things like that. Well, eventually shoots. We're almost there. So the ship image is now loaded in this ship img variable, right? So the preload image is going to go out there and grab it. Now we can actually use this variable to draw an image. So if we go down into our ship class and the draw function, or the draw method within our ship class here, this is where we draw this triangle. So I can go ahead and we're going to take this out. We don't need to draw a triangle anymore. So we could just say command / or control / to comment out all those lines. Just put two forward slashes in front of each line to comment them out. And then right below that, we're going to say image, and we're going to draw the ship img, and we're going to draw this at the position of the ship. Since we're using a vector called p within this class, we could just say this.p.x and this.p.y. Now that should be all we need to do to get this image to work. So let's go ahead and run our game. And look at that, boom, we've got our ship image rendering in place of where the actual triangle was previously. And it's flying around just as the triangle was. This seems to be working. Let's go ahead and try to change this image to the ship 2. So what do you think we need to do to actually change the image? We have our ship.png and we have our ship2.png. You may have guessed it. All we have to do is change the image that we're loading in the preload function. So we can go here and say ship2, save that bad boy, go back to our program, run it, and boom, now we have another ship image. So using this technique of the preload function to go ahead and load an image, and then using the variable that the image is loaded into, we can change the draw function within the ship class that we've defined. Remember that blueprint that describes a ship. And instead of using the triangle function, we're using the image function to draw that ship image at the position that the ship should be drawn in. Simple as that. All right, guys, so I recommend you guys give this a shot. Use some of your own images, be it something you've designed yourself or something you found on the internet. One thing you may want to make sure of is that it does have a transparent background. Both of these images do have a transparent background, which makes it not look like kind of a square. But have fun with it. Play around with it. All right? Thanks.